Working? Good morning, everyone. You guys sound excited as I am. I am so happy to be here today. This is a project that so many people who came together to make it happen. The Masonic Streetscape improvement. How about a hand for all the beautiful plaza? This project is a transformational redesign of what most of our streets in San Francisco will be looking like. So many beautiful amenities. You can see the plaza, the nice stonework. You'll hear about that today. You can see the new cycle track, which is raised for cyclists. It's, it's beautiful. The street design itself, all the landscaping, all the beautiful things that our city is evolving into. So this is a model street. We have been doing these projects all around the city. A few weeks ago, we were on Broadway. We have done in the Mission, on Portola, and we have many more of these projects to come. All the agencies involved, you'll hear from them. The beautiful art behind here, how about a big applause for the beautiful art? The San Francisco Arts Commission, all their beautiful work. You will hear from the MTA, you will hear from planning, you will hear from PUC, and all of us. This is a way that a project should be done. All the agencies working together along with the community, and the community the most important. On behalf of all of us, I just want to say thank you for all the patience. I mean, all those phone calls, all those concerns that we went through, today all that is over and we will be enjoying this beautiful street, right? I can also tell you that the leadership is always being involved, because sometimes when you call me or you call one of the agency heads, when you don't get the answer you want, you always go to the top person. And the person I'm about to introduce is someone who is very, very familiar with this project, someone who was the supervisor of District 5 when this project was very active, and now our Mayor, London Breed. Welcome her.
Thank you, Mohammed. First of all, let's give it up for the Samba Band, which is led by Public Works employees. Thank you so much for being here. They don't just deal with infrastructure and clean the streets, they are artists too. How cool is that? Well, let me just tell you, when I was supervisor for District 5, and I first started in 2013, I got so many complaints from my constituents, probably throughout my entire career, more complaints about this Masonic Boulevard Street than any place else. And I'm probably more happy than anyone else besides the people who live on this block that it is finally done. How exciting is that? So I want to be clear. This project is about safety. We know, sadly, that this was one, and probably still is, and we're hoping these improvements will change that, one of the most dangerous streets in San Francisco. And part of getting to Vision Zero, where we don't have any fatalities as a result of the conditions of our roads, is making the hard decisions to make the changes necessary to make our streets safer. This is about making sure people who are walking the streets feel safe. This is about making sure people who are bicycling feel safe. This is about making sure that people are driving and being safe. This is about bringing the communities together for the purposes of creating a road that hopefully will lead to less problems than before. The number of collisions, the number of challenges, the number of complaints, we hope that this will lead to the kinds of results that will make this a safer and better street for all to use throughout San Francisco. Throughout the process, I just want to thank so many people who have been actively engaged and patient, especially the people who live here, the people who have businesses along Masonic. Those are the people who have had to endure many of the challenges that existed. And also, I want to apologize to many of the drivers who consistently complained about their wheel alignments to me. This smooth road with clear direction is going to make it possible to avoid that on this particular street at least. This project includes raised and separated bike lanes along the corridor. I know that there are some concerns about protected bike lanes, and it's something that we will address. Newly paved roads, bus bulbs, sidewalks, and curve ramps, wider sidewalks, and pedestrian lighting, which is absolutely amazing. But this project also included much-needed infrastructure improvements. A new water main on both sides. Now, sometimes it's the things that we don't see that are the most exciting things to complete a project and make a city work. A new sewer line that now runs on both sides as well. Also, this new beautiful public plaza, a plaza for everyone to enjoy. I want to thank so many people who made this possible. And clearly, you see that there are so many trees. So more trees than we probably need. But I want to thank the Public Works Department for the work that they did in doing this project, but also the future work that they're going to do in maintaining those many trees along Masonic. I want to thank Harlan Kelly's here from the Public Utilities Commission, the San Francisco MTA, the San Francisco Planning Department, the County Transportation Authority, and when I was on the board and on the County Transportation Authority, I helped to lead the effort to secure the additional funding we needed to get this project done. I want to thank the San Francisco Arts Commission and so many that have made it possible. This project overall improves public safety, creates new open space for our community, and strengthens our infrastructure for years to come. And when I was supervisor, hi, Michael, one of the leaders who basically helped move this project forward. Thank you so much for being here and your advocacy in getting this project done. And so when I was on the board of supervisors, one of the persons in my office who helped deal with many of those complaints and challenges from the folks who live here and work here was, at the time, my legislative aide, Vali Brown. She is now the supervisor to represent this district. Ladies and gentlemen, District 5 Supervisor Vali Brown.
Thank you, Mayor Breed. I was told by someone when I'm riding my bike now and I have photos to put my helmet up front so everyone knows that, yes, I too wear a helmet when I'm out there. So kids, wear your helmet. I just want to thank everyone really for coming today. This is amazing. I started working on this Masonic Boulevard and the issues that we were having, the safety issues we were having in 2005. There was a group of us, Michael, Doug, a bunch of us that came out at night when it was rainy and cold. We had our signs up to reduce the speed to 25 miles. Because if you remember before then, it was a lot faster. It was our little mini freeway. So we were out here day and night, going across the street, up and down Masonic, and then working on the state level to reduce it to 25 miles an hour. And then that happened. We were excited about it. We also knew that we needed to do more. And then we had the tragedy of a bicyclist getting killed. Yannick was riding his bike in 2010. And he was killed by a car. It made everyone sad, furious, and also gave us the power to keep moving. We needed to make sure that we changed Masonic. Masonic needed to be changed, not only for people that rode their bikes on Masonic, not only for the kids that are at San Francisco Day School that walk around Masonic, and the people who live here. They were also complaining that the noise and the pollution of the way Masonic was fast cross-town freeway. So we worked on that, and we had these amazing community meetings. And Michael and Doug and Tim Hickey and the others were at these meetings that we had 80 to 100 people at a planning meeting for Masonic. And we had, MTA led those amazing meetings. We were there, probably we had 6 to 8 meetings that we had the community, everyone coming together to work on what's going to make Masonic safe and what we feel good on, whether we're walking, biking, driving, or coming out of your homes. And then the next phase was funding it. And then Mayor Breed, who was Supervisor Breed at the time, pushed the funding through TA so we could get actually come to this realization that we have this beautiful boulevard. But we're not done. Severo bicyclists, we have a few blocks that need some work. And as Mayor Breed said, we're going to do that. And I was at first a little bit we're going to be celebrating a boulevard that we're still working on. And then I realized, and I actually called my OGs, bicycle OGs, Michael and others, to say, you know, do we support this as it is now? And we really do. We support it because it is absolutely beautiful. When we first made the bike lanes on Fell and Oak, we had to change those. At first they were, we put the bike lanes in, and as we move forward, we realized we have to tweak it this way, we have to tweak it that way to be safe. That's the way I look at Masonic now, and I just want to thank everybody that has been here for the last 15 years really working to change this, and all the departments that are involved, DPW, MTA, PUC, that came together and said, we're going to change this boulevard, not only for the people that live here, but the people that walk, visit, and bike here. Thank you. And I'm going to bring up my colleague, Catherine, Supervisor Catherine Stephanie, because this area, we have 3 different districts that kind of intersect and we cross all the time. So I'd like to bring up Catherine Stephanie. Supervisor Stephanie?
Thank you, Supervisor Brown. It's so great to be here today, and I love that we share this area. You know, San Francisco faces many challenges, but we know that we can solve the dangers of our roadways. And the city's Vision Zero mission to eliminate all traffic deaths by 2024 is a vital one to every resident. And I don't think many people know this about me, but before I was appointed supervisor, I was actually training for triathlons, and I was training for the Escape from Alcatraz triathlon, and I biked all over this city. And one of the scariest moments on my bike was on Ocean Avenue, or actually on the Great Highway, and I was riding my bike, and a car started to come into the lane as they were turning right, and I had to pound on the side of the van so not to get run over. So I understand how important bicycle safety is and how important it is to make sure that we are implementing changes in our roadways so that cyclists feel safe, so that pedestrians feel safe, so that our kids are safe. So to see this unravel today, to see all of this today is actually a very, it's a long time coming, and I think we have to do more of this all over the city. This project enhanced safety for pedestrians, cyclists, motorists, and transit riders, and also made it more beautiful. We have a newly planted median, street trees, and this new public plaza, which I think is going to be great, especially for our Target shoppers over there. And I think, you know, residents will also be able to walk safely down the streets and enjoy this new area. So I just want to say that, you know, the collaboration of all our departments is always good, that we're all at the table. I want to thank our Public Works, Planning, the SFMTA, and of course all the residents and businesses that endured. I think in the end everyone is truly proud of what has become here, and just want to thank everyone for participating and creating this beautiful new space. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor. And now we're going to hear from our MTA Director, Director Riskin. He is responsible for making sure that all the walkways and bicycling and transit works around here. Right, Ed? All right. Welcome, Ed Riskin.
That's right. Thank you, Mohammed. Good morning, everyone. It's so great to be here at this point in time. I think the mayor and the supervisor said it well. This has really been a long time in coming, but very well worth it, and really a great success story from my standpoint. You heard from the mayor and Supervisor Brown that this really started from the community. Before the city adopted Vision Zero, before we had identified the high injury network, we had people from this community come forward and say, this street is not working for us. It's not working for people who drive on it. It's not working for people who ride a bike, for people who walk, for people who are getting on and off Muni, even for people who are driving the Muni buses. The street really wasn't working well for anyone. We were having close to 20 traffic crashes a year just on Masonic Avenue alone. We had 2 fatalities, and we came together as a community, with the city agencies, and said, we can do better than this. We can redesign this street to make it work better, to make it safer, to make it more inviting, and that's what we have here today. We have taken what used to be essentially a mini freeway, as someone said, that really was dividing the 2 neighborhoods in our city, or really dividing a neighborhood in our city, and have replaced it with a beautiful, safe, inviting street that knits together the community, and as the mayor said, will make it much, much less likely that anyone will be severely hurt, let alone killed, on this street. It is now truly a neighborhood street. And that happened because we had leaders like Michael Hellquist and others in the community that worked with then Supervisor Aide Vali Brown, and with the support of then Supervisor Breed, to bring forward this planning process that the SFMTA led. It culminated in a recommendation for a project that we brought to our board of directors in 2012. And I want to acknowledge the great leadership of then vice chair of the board and now chair of the board of the SFMTA board of directors, Cheryl Brinkman, who's been a staunch advocate for safety improvements in the city. With their approval in 2012, we got to work with Public Works, with planning, with public utilities, with the Arts Commission, all working together to design and build and implement this project. And I think it's a great transformation of a city street, and one, as Mohammed said, is one of many that we've seen and will be seeing in the coming months and years. So it's a great day for this neighborhood, for everybody who uses the street, whether they live here, whether they travel through here, they walk, bike, take Muni, or drive here. It's a much better street, and it's a great lesson for all of us on how to do things. One thing we need to do is figure out how to do it a whole lot faster. And I will acknowledge, we've heard from Supervisor Brown some concerns. This project is not perfect, and we will continue, as we do with every project, to evaluate how it's performing and identify ways to make it even better. We'll work with Supervisor Brown and the community to make sure that we make this street work as well as it was intended from those first days of protest back in 2005 and 2006. So thank you for everybody, the leadership and support we've had from the mayor, the supervisors, past supervisors, but particularly the leadership from the community to make this happen. Partnership with the city agencies brings us to where we are today. So congratulations to the community on making this happen and getting this done.
Thank you, Ed. And now we're going to hear from the Public Utilities Commission. As the mayor said, some of the important things that go in a project that a lot of us don't see but have to be part of a project are water, our power, and our sewer. Harlan Kelly, coming up.
So again, Mohammed, I want to thank you for inviting us, because as you say, out of sight, out of mind. You know, we actually have about 70% of our infrastructure is 70 years or older, especially the sewer and water mains. And so we're trying to prioritize them based on joint projects. And so this was a prime project where we could come together and work with other departments to get into an area one time, dig one time, so that we can you know, invest in our infrastructure. And so this was a great opportunity to work with Mohammed. We actually have two water mains and 2 sewer mains running down the street. And so that's something that we want to make sure that we really invest in new infrastructure so that we can provide vital service to everyone. Also, we worked on the street lights as well. And so you can see the beautiful pedestrian lighting here. And on other projects, we're looking at investing in green infrastructure. And so one thing I just want to make sure, when Mohammed asked me to participate in a project where we have aging infrastructure, we're definitely there. And so thank you for inviting me to say a few words about my hidden infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you, Harlan. And you all know it takes a village. And we're going to talk here a little bit from the Arts Commission. Tom DeCaney, come on up real quick. I know you are not on the program, but this is so beautiful, and I want you to talk about this art. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. It's great to be here today on this incredible community project. The artist here that was selected through the competition is Scott Oliver. He's originally from Reading. And what's incredible is he spent over 3 weeks here on the plaza interviewing many of you. 3 questions. Where are you headed right now? Where were you born? And where would you like to go? So I think for a transit hub like this, it makes a perfect conceptual concept to share this incredible stories of the people that use and actually inhabit the space here. And what's really exciting is that all of the arrows point actually to the real place. So they're actually directional signage should you ever need to find yourself to, say, the corner store formerly here at the corner when this was installed, or to Land's End, or the Department of Motor Vehicles. So we want to congratulate Scott Oliver. There's going to be, I believe, a little celebration here on Saturday night. And so we encourage you to come back and celebrate this great work of art. So congratulations to all of our colleagues in the city and for all the community champions that made this possible.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Thank you. And it takes a lot of people to do these projects. The community, all the city agencies, all the nonprofits. One of the nonprofits that we work with very closely, we meet regularly. They really advocate for cycling in the city, really advocate for making the city a better place, is the San Francisco Bicycle Coalition. And speaking on their behalf is Brian Windemeyer. Come on and say a few words, man.
Thank you, Director Nuru. I want to thank the city partners that are here, Director Reskin, General Manager Kelly, my friend Director DeCaney. Special thanks to Supervisor Brown and Supervisor Stephanie for your support of this project and your support of Vision Zero across our city. And I want to say a very, very special thank you to Mayor London Breed for your support in securing funding for this project during your time on the Board of Supervisors. We wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for that leadership. This project exists for a reason. It exists because of the leadership of folks sitting up here and the hard work of our city staff, but it is also the grassroots energy of everyday San Franciscans who would not settle for less that brought us here. For too many years, Masonic Avenue was a speedway, cutting through the heart of our city, through some of our most storied neighborhoods. For too long, it has been a place for cars and not for people. I want to thank the city and our members for their dedication over the last decade plus to make Masonic Avenue a friendlier place for people. In particular, I want to thank a big thanks to the folks at Fix Masonic and some of our members who have already been mentioned, Michael Helquist and Dale Danley. I see Lawrence Lee here, Fran Taylor, Mark Christensen, Doug, who I met this morning. Their energy and your tireless advocacy and years of patience have made this day possible. It is also important to honor those who have been injured or worse on this street. In particular, I would also like to mention Nils Yannick Linke, who was hit and killed by a drunk driver on Masonic just a few blocks from where we stand in 2010. Yannick was 22 when he was killed. He would be 30 years old today if he was still with us. I think of the years of lost life that will never be given back to his family and friends, and I particularly think about his mother, Petra, and his sister, Sophia, who are in Germany, and who wanted to be here today, but couldn't. So there is no doubt that these improvements that we're celebrating today on Masonic will make it a safer place for people biking and walking. But our work, as has been mentioned, is not done here. Like many new projects of this scale, there will be a period of adjustment as people get used to the new street designs. And these designs, let's not forget, when they were first planned in 2007, 2008, into 2010, they were considered revolutionary. And it's now 2018, and we've got some other ideas about what makes a great street to bike and walk on. And so we look forward to working with Supervisor Vali Brown, the SFMTA, and our members to address those problem spots, particularly as Masonic approaches Fell. We know that for people biking, if they're not very confident, that can be a stressful spot. So let's get to work quickly to fix that. As we celebrate a decade of effort that brought us here today, we need to remember Yannick and his memory and the others like him who have died on our city streets. If San Francisco and streets like Masonic Avenue and streets across our city are going to be transformed, if we're going to achieve Vision Zero, if we're going to make this city and its avenues a place for people, we don't have another decade to wait. So let's finish fixing Masonic and let's get to work on the rest of the city. Thanks, everybody, for your leadership. I'm really excited to ride my bike on these new bike lanes when we leave today. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And so we're going to cut the ribbon, but before we do that, I just want to thank everyone for coming, and especially the team from Public Works, our city engineer, John Thomas, he's sitting right here, the project manager, David Forlick, our communications department, all the engineers who worked with the rest of the city agencies to make this project possible, and of course the team that looks after the city every day, the street cleaners and everybody. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you all for coming. Let's get ready and cut the ribbon of this great project, and another one down. Coming up. Okay, gonna move something out of here? Okay. Hey, Doug, coming up. Come on. Or should we say hop on up? Maurice, come on in. Maurice, they want you in the picture. Come on in. Doug, come stand next to me. It's multiple cuts, so make sure you cut on the zero. Doug, coming up. Coming up over here. Come over. Okay, we're going to go. Count down. 5. Okay, let me put. All right. There you go. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay.